What's up, my guys?
Wow,
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are
Benjamin, what's good?
I'm all right. How have you been?
Not too bad.
How's the week treating you?
Week is okay. Just dreading my last week before I get back to work. You know.
Oh, yes, your leave is finally
getting done.
I'm starting to envy you.
Happy. It's been good. Got some good time to rest. Last week was okay. Not eventful, not so eventful, but it had best of both worlds. How's the Crystal Brunch?
The Crystal Brunch went well. Brunch Club. I had a wedding on that day as well, so I was dressed for the event.
Look dapper, man.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But it went well. On our show today, welcome back to Maverick Podcast. On our show today, we have a guest that is Gonza. Gonza, welcome to Maverick.
Thank you.
Good to have you, Gonza. Thanks for coming through, man.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here.
Yeah,
it's a pleasure.
It's our pleasure.
Catching up as guys also.
Yeah, catching up as guys.
How was your week, Gonza?
Had a good week last week. Work, wedding. Part of mine was getting married, so
Yeah.
you have to help a brother.
Yeah.
So it was a good week.
Did we go to the same wedding?
No. David's wedding and Shiba?
No, David, that one I went for the Kasiki. It went well. So thank you for representing us at the
made
wedding.
us leave at 5.
We had to. For sending the man off, that could be the last time he leaves the bad 5.
Oh, well. Great that you guys have caught up for a bit. Well, let's dive into it. We will be having some good giveaways at the end of the show. Just stay tuned as you watch. Let's get into the topic for the day. So in light of this month, Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, we just thought we'd dive into this critical topic and just have a conversation around it.
Yeah, definitely. I think it has been long overdue.
So let's just get into it. Okay, mental health is an active state of mind which enables a person to use their abilities in coordination with the common human tenets of society. Mental health is the pivot of human life. However, despite its importance, it is often the least prioritized amongst health conditions. In low and medium income countries like Uganda, where disease, ignorance, and poverty are common, a demand for steadfast mental health care can seem a luxury.
To add on that, from my notes here, mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make healthy choices.
Perfect.
What do you have from your end, Gonza?
He gave a good explanation, definition. I think I have the same definition as you.
Okay.
It comes down to the us being emotional, our social well-being, how we feel, how we act. So I guess you've defined it the perfect way, guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I feel like this mental health thing, like I feel like it has a number of stages. We all go through like childhood, adolescence, then the old age.
It comes from
and then basically how, like the stages at which we experience
life.
Yeah.
Like it's transitional. While it comes down to nature and nurture, it comes right from a child to a teenager, to an adolescent, to a youth, then to an adult. Then there's also midlife crisis.
True.
So,
it's I love the fact that now we're paying attention to mental health. Remember, like back in the years, we used to think it was a joke. Like Elia Kim comes and talks about mental health, and you're like, yeah, with Joe's story, where did you get this? But in actual sense, it's happened. It's there.
Yeah.
Because just like you want us to explain it, from childhood to the adolescent stage to adulthood. Now, like you said, there's the
midlife crisis.
So you look at it, childhood. How were you raised? What's your background? What's the background of this person? The adolescent stage. How we go through the transition.
Yeah.
Remember, adolescents mostly found us in school.
Yeah.
You recall, yeah? Finds us in school. Now, after school, because I think maybe you can break it down. Childhood, how how did your parents raise you? As in, it comes back to background.
Yeah, and that now brings us to nature and nurture. While I have my nature as a human being, I was also nurtured a certain type of way. So for me, it really comes down to my parents, mostly my mother. I think she's been most present, considering my father was a civil servant that was really up and down on duty. My mother, and being the last born as well, which is a privilege, I got to have a couple of siblings that had gone through a lot of things already.
Yeah.
And with that connection, they always told me, no, when I was your age, this happened. When I did this happened. And same for my mother. And now, like, you've come from being a child, okay, you have to do this, play with your friends, learn how to share. You get into high school, now you have to learn to be tidy, clean for yourself. You're going into a space where there's people from different nature and nurture. True. Exactly. There's bullying, there's a lot to say: homosexuality, smoking, drug abuse, dodging classes. I can't put
It's a combination of a lot.
It's a combination of a lot. So luckily for me, I had, like I said, siblings that for things my mom would not tell me, my brother would come and be like, I know no one will tell you this, but me, I won't tell you. Do not do this, do the other. And if you want something, while for me, I did not get the chance to possibly have a sibling who will tell me, okay, Benja, do this. Because at home they call me Benja. Like, Benja, do this. Now, me, I've gone through that. And feel free. Come and tell me, you know what? I want to go out.
No judgment, no nothing.
No, nothing. You don't have to jump over the fence to go out. Tell me, you know what? I want to go out. And if I can, I'll make sure I get permission for two. When I'm going somewhere, I'll tell, no,
I'll talk to Daddy.
Benja is growing up. I think he needs to start going out, sing. So for me, it was a whole transition. And luckily, I had people there to guide me, straight from my siblings, then most importantly, my mother. For a father, and I think this is general for most fathers, they are total men. Unlike so many other men, most men are total men. And for them, it will come down to basic needs. Are you going to school? Did you have what to eat? Results?
Yeah.
That is it.
Yeah.
I don't know how you went through it, Kim.
Nah, I think like, okay, I never understood, what my dad went through until I had to go through it myself. When you're actually putting food on the table for somebody, when you actually have to make a way for people or for a family, I really got to appreciate that at an old age. And I would always wonder, man, Dad is pretty much, not, okay, he was definitely around because I was always with him during business hustle, etc. But, that nitty gritty of actually having to provide, at one point, I felt like I was failing, and no one prepares you for that stage in life where you're like, it's time now to step up.
Yeah, for most things, unfortunately, there is one way to find out, and it's to have to first go through them.
That's the thing. No one prepares you for that.
Yeah,
There's no one who can sit down with you or hold your hand through it. It's like a stage. It's like
you have to go through
a pathway you have to go through as a man. And I feel like men don't have those, those spaces where they can actually sit down and be like, man, I'm actually going through this. I'm actually going through that.
Yeah, I think also it comes down to still what we say, nature and nurture. A lot of us have been taught to believe that, as a man, you have to go through the hardships. You have to go through this. Like, they haven't taught us any other way. And unfortunately, we have followed the script, which is a very bad thing. A lot of us are living according to a script.
It's a transition.
It's a transition,
A, B, C.
Yeah. Graduate from high school, go to campus, get the degree, get married, do the masters, own a couple of rentals, like the Ugandan
You're
dream.
right.
It didn't work like that.
It doesn't, definitely doesn't.
You see, to get his point, or to get your point, is we raised, if I go back to generations changing, the way our siblings, like you said, you're the last born, they must have gone through the thickest of it. You get, now you come, a last born. Life has become soft a little bit.
Yeah.
You get it? It gets soft a little bit. That your siblings can guide you and nurture you through a transition. Like,
you do not necessarily have to go through what they went through.
Exactly. It's like, it's something I'm grateful for. I can say, I'm the last born. So my elder siblings and the age difference is quite big.
Yeah.
It's quite big. So you get to know that your sibling can't let you go down a certain path. But also, it comes to the way we're being nurtured by our parents.
By our parents, yeah.
By our parents. Do you have that connection?
Yeah, the parent figure in your
The
life.
parent figure, do you have that connection? Do you relate? Because we have all, I think some of us have grown up in families whereby you don't have to say anything. Once your father said something, just like you said,
That's a wrap.
that's it. That's a wrap. But remember, it affects you as you grow. For example, the second stage, adolescent stage. I'll just ask you guys, I'll just throw a question. Who spoke to you about, because remember that's a time, I'll just give an example. HIV came in, we started hearing stories. Who told you that, there's a condom? Without shyness, without, like talking to your nature, and you're like, you're going to secondary, you're going to pass through this stage. So as it comes, our parents, their upbringing plays a big role, I think. Also exposure.
Yeah, while it's not a very easy conversation to have, I think a lot of parents are stuck between sensitizing us and also what if the child didn't know about it and now I'm telling them that there is a condom and they can actually have sex. But I think it's necessary. For
very
me,
necessary.
it was my mother, definitely. It was my mother. I think my father, like I said, total man. I think you will go through it, you will learn. As a man, you will go
Figure
through
it
it.
out.
You're going to see how it goes. Yeah. But for a mother, like we said before, there's that attachment. There's that attachment where she's going to tell you, know what? You're my son. You're going out there.
The world
There
is harsh.
this. Yes, there is this. Expect this. Handle it like this.
Yeah,
which is
true.
not the same for a lot of fathers. Maybe when it comes to their daughters, they've tried. I do not know if that's the case.
I think you've given a good point. Mother to son, there's that relationship. Father to daughter, there's that close relationship. Like I would give a simple scenario. I've not seen my mother for 22 years, but she's my best friend. That I can pick up a phone and be like, Mom, this is happening. Or she'll call me and be like, handle it this way. Like you said, your mother spoke to you about the adolescent stage, which happened to me. But it comes from that close,
Yeah, that relation.
that relationship, that bond, with the guidance of our siblings, because of the age difference.
Yeah.
So
I think there are a lot of factors that really play into men's mental health, like in this generation, and there are quite a number of perspectives to it. Just throw it right out there. I think as men, like we're always rushing to get there. We don't stop and think and maybe take a break. We just want to rush to get there. And if certain paths are hindered by one or more factors, then we lag behind. And when you lag behind, if you're not mentally strong enough, you just won't get through.
That's true.
Or you
will
see
end up
yourself as a
taking through.
failure.
Exactly. Coming out of university, I took about, give or take, 4 years before I got my first job. But within those 4 years, man, a lot ran through my mind. Most of my peers jumped straight out of campus,
got
guys were getting jobs and everything. That was their path. I just kept steadfast, believed in God at some point that something's going to come through. A purpose will open up for me. But honestly, what kept me strong was community. I will get to that later. But if a man's path is cut off, especially at a period where they're supposed to be thriving, then there's definitely going to be an issue.
I think it goes for the ladies as well. Unfortunately, it's heavy on the men. It's heavy on the men
because we have time frames.
Exactly. I think we've told ourselves before I get here I should have a house, before I should do
just like we used to think when we were young. What do you want to be? A pilot?
Exactly.
What do you want to be? An engineer? A doctor? But you see, when after it hits hard after you're done with uni. Like I used to think after uni, I'll get this job and 10 million. But it's not as easy as you expect. And just like you mentioned it, you're seeing your friends shoot up and you're still at a certain level. It hits you hard. Just like the generation now or the seasons now, you go hang out with your pals. but you're not at the same level as they are.
Exactly.
It hits you hard.
And for us, you see, the thing is, we are on air. We're on air. You get that's very rhetoric. But you see, while our parents could keep a lot of things private, keep things to themselves, the exposure was not as much.
Yes.
The digital migration has taken a real toll on us. It's growing, and it's also growing on us.
And the pressure
The pressure that comes with it,
be
yes,
what
the
you
social
And I think
pressure.
we're also not patient.
We are not patient. The virtue of patience,
It's not there.
it's not there. And now what comes is there's a lot of comparison.
True.
I have a birthday, maybe it had nice deco, nice what, post it online. I do my
Mombasa
graduation, Mombasa trip online. First car, online.
Yeah.
Then we have conversations like, Barasha yagule motoka kati natuvaamu. Because your friends think you no longer want to chill
Some
with
even don't even to come and associate with you
just because you have
because of that,
Yet it's not a big deal like
It's
that.
not a big deal.
But social pressure.
which dawns down to you. It comes down to it hits you hard.
Yeah, and you
Like
see,
acceptance.
mental health is really not a topic until you have poor mental health and you're going down the drain. I do not know. Do people really know what are the causes of poor mental health? When does one realize their mental health is not doing well?
No, that's what I was going to ask. I don't know how many people know when they're going through that. That mental health could be depression, could be stress, could be peer pressure, anxiety, anything. So how do we get to?
I think it's all about driving that self-awareness. You should be self-aware as a person, and you should be able to have. Okay, it's not easy having people around you that care about you. That's the truth. That's a fact of life. But if you're self-aware and you're like, oh my God, this is where I'm heading, how do I get help? And, that's the reason why we are having, this conversation today, is just to get out there and just talk about a topic that's very...
But
very delicate.
how does someone tell that, okay, now I've gone into the red zone? It comes back to what you've said, but also it comes down to the people around you. Because I could be a 2-beer guy, and for some reason now we have gone for Wahala Wednesday, and I'm gunning 5 beers, 6 beers, 7th beer. Give me the shots. Does one realize that, okay, I've gone out of the ordinary, something must be wrong? Is there something stressing me? Is there something? We're not self-aware rather, enough. Like we're on autopilot.
That's true.
And for a lot of us, we don't realize until we've hit rock bottom. You're like, now, I don't know. What would you have to say about that, Gonza?
I think it comes down to the way we relate with others.
Yes, please.
To know that, okay, if Eliakim is my close friend, like you said, you're in a community, yeah? You can easily tell when your friend is not kawa. Like, you can pick up a phone and say, dude, are you kawa? Because I feel that's the only one where we can get to know what's happening because due to what's happening in life, I'm working, you're working, you're taken up by
Everyone
the
is chasing
agenda.
like
life happens.
Yes, like life happens.
all
So
over the place.
you don't know what's happening in Romano's life. But if you take the time to, are you kawa?
Or maybe in your own, you're too busy to notice that one or two
Exactly.
things has gone off.
Because I think it's the stages. How do you relate with others? The decisions we make. Also, the decisions we make dawn down on us. I can go get a loan of 100 million, start up a business. When it jams, it all comes back to me.
And how do you deal with that?
And how do I deal with it? Which is happening now. We see most business people succeed, but if they tell you what they go through, like
Trouble.
it's trouble.
Personally, we also don't take time to rest. I feel like in this generation, in this day and age, everything is quick.
Yeah, it's moving very
Everything
fast.
is moving fast. And if you don't take time off, you don't take time to rest, just double down, stop, think.
I like to tell people that, you see, while we're in high school, primary, for the people that, okay, I mean for everyone, you didn't necessarily have to be in boarding school, but for boarding school, it was real. Like, you're going to spend 3 terms a year, yeah? 4 months every term, or a couple of months, whichever. Those months, you're at school. Let's take it now, you're at your desk job. 3 months, you're at school, and then they'll give you a holiday, maybe 2 weeks, maybe a month, whatever it is, but you've gotten a holiday.
Which is important.
Which is important.
Yeah,
Now, in adulting, we have so many things coming at us. Responsibilities of work, family, personal life. And for a lot of us, we've not managed to gift ourselves or grant ourselves this holiday. Maybe because of the employer, but even then, it is not school that they're going to send you away. Even then, it is your own initiative. Like, you know what?
It's a must, yeah.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
Let me now hand in this application for a loan. But school, it's a must. When this time clicks, out of school, go and rest, we want you back refreshed. But now that's not happening for the adults.
In the real world.
So how do people manage to...
I like what you've said. People think because I must get leave, I must go for holiday. Like we normally see people, like, these are things that dawn down on us as people. Kim, you can come and say, guys, I'm going for leave Mombasa a week. So someone will fear to say, man, where am I going? And yet, it's...
that didn't happen often, man. Bro, let's get it.
No, but...
Let's get this straight. That analogy I've just used, that didn't happen like that, man.
No, but you
see... once in like 4 years.
No. I'm
but
just
still, you see, even in 4 years, even in 4 years, you sit down and like, okay, now I need this holiday.
Thank you.
But the people 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years.
We think taking a break, I must go somewhere.
Exactly.
I can lock myself in the house and think to myself, like what we call, like, you go back to, I normally call it okwekuba torch. Like,
check yourself.
You check yourself, you analyze. Reflect. Because we all want things done a certain way, but you're not going to go your way always.
Definitely. Like we said, it's not a script.
Thank you.
Everyone, different experience.
Yeah.
Mano a mano.
Exactly.
So just to give you guys a quick story. There's a friend of mine. She works at the Drop. Yeah. So this one time she just goes off for a period of about 10 days, 10 to 12 days. So 13th day, I finally call her phone. It's going through. And I'm like, yo, what's up? He's like, no, I can't talk. I'm in transit. I'm like, Kawa. Gets into work on the 14th day. Then I check in, I'm like, yo, where were you? What happened? Like, I took 10 days off. And I'm like, what? I took 10 days to go through meditation. And I'm like, so where did you go and what? So I was really excited to hear about the whole experience. Yeah, she works as the manager at the Drop. So she tells me, man...
Just to interrupt you, a lot of people say, you're being to be a wazungu, like you're being bougie.
No. You said it right. No, you see that example I was giving you earlier on? Like you come out and say, guys, I'm going for 1 week Mombasa trip.
Like,
you see, I normally tell people, sometimes our lifestyles dawn out on others. Because not saying that, like, it's not about affording, but they think you're like, putting it in their face.
Exactly.
Like, and yet it's nature. We need it. Like, you can go even to your village and have a breather and come back refreshed.
That's true, man.
You can go to your village. You don't have to go to Mombasa.
Or for a person that doesn't go to nightclubs, you can say, this month, I'm going to pick a day and go to the nightclub and dance and chill with my friends. Like, it could be anything, as long as it's out of your normal routine to make you feel better about a certain thing. So you were telling us about your friend.
Yeah, so she went for this program they call Vipassana in Nairobi. So like you have to sign in. You don't just go. There's a waiting list and all that. So once you register, they will give you a schedule. So you just have to align your schedule with theirs, get yourself there. Food, the meals are free. Accommodation is free. All you have to do is you have to make a vow of silence for 10 days.
No phone, nothing. No communication. Even with the people that are there, you don't talk to anyone for 10 days.
Whoa. And then when she came back, she was more composed.
So how do you get your way around there?
She just told me, you just don't talk to anybody.
So are you locked up like in a
No,
room?
you have your own room where you
So it's like a
sleep.
dormitory.
It's sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of.
So
But
everything is all access
everything
there.
is all access. And she was telling me the way it survives is that people that go through that program, that 10-day meditation program, are the ones who donate to that place. To keep it
eventually.
running. So you might find maybe some CEOs have also been through that, and they just donate to the place, keep it running. But like she looked a bit more, she looked well composed, like when I spoke to her, and everything seemed like she was like refreshed, literally refreshed. And I was like, man, something I should think about.
Yeah. So I've picked a point from what you've said, CEOs, which comes back to knowing that what are the factors that dawn down on us to that mental health problem, to either maybe stress, depression,
Angry.
yeah, all those. So, and I got one, sometimes due to the work our jobs we have. So I want, if a CEO tells you, like a simple example we're saying, we look at the CEOs, we're like, ba marayo, they have no pressure. And yet you don't know what the guy is carrying. It's a lot.
I remember when we were in high school, guys used to make jokes about the likes of Lil Wayne being in the Illuminati and whatnot. And guys would be like, you think that money lets them sleep? And I mean, I think it's the same thing you're saying. We look at guys driving a good car, beautiful wife,
He has a
beautiful
driver,
kids,
he's at
he
the
has a
left back.
driver,
But
drinking the richest whiskey in the bar. But I mean, at
there's-
what cost?
There's one thing I'm getting to totally understand. It's not the happiest people that we actually think are happy.
Yeah.
If you think about it, we think the happiest people have no. But when you look at yourself, like the type of work I do, I normally come to Stanchart Forest Mall. There's an old man I normally met. But it dawned down to me that I created a relationship with this man, and humbles me to he tells me, Oli mutabani muto naye okola. And he reflects to me that he has sons, but they don't do age bracket, but
Yeah.
they can't be there to help the dad through.
His daily
So
endeavors.
it humbles me to knowing that if a person like this can appreciate me, then we should learn to appreciate ourselves as well.
Yeah.
And for every stage of life. Because just like you said, we have a lot of comparison out there, which I think these are the factors that trigger every ailment.
I also feel like we need to, embrace community.
Yeah. No man is an island.
No man is an island. We need to embrace community, and the only way men can address these issues is if we are connected.
And if we speak.
Yeah. If we're connected by community, and community drives everything at the end of the day. Because community, it could be my basketball club where I'm at. That's my community. That's where I hail from. Barasha, you could have your own community, same as Gonza. You could have your gym community. So if we as men just realize that we have these spaces within ourselves, and how do we unlock those? How do we use those spaces to unlock that development and that awareness, about these issues? And especially use these spaces to check on each other.
True,
I think that would be
so important.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that thing people keep saying, sad generation, happy pictures.
True.
How do we change that? I think it comes down to community, like you said before, because it's only those people that know you deeply. Even when you're putting a smile on your face, they'll be like, but Barasha, there was something off about you last night.
Exactly.
We are friends. We usually go out and drink,
But you
but
lost it.
yesterday you overdrank. Is everything okay?
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think that's what it means by a community. But then also with community, we should be able to differentiate between actual friends and acquaintances.
Yeah.
Your friends are your friends. I cannot put a definition to that. However, acquaintances, these are people that give you a likelihood of friendship, but are actually not your friends.
True.
They know your routines. They know Barasha will be at Elevator Friday. They know this
They know
is
your
his
prog.
girlfriend. Exactly. They know your taste of alcohol because they've been around you one time, two times, a lot of times. But they do not know who Barasha is. So how do you get into a space whereby when you go off track, someone will ably say,
To bring you back on track.
man, you're not doing well. Like, let's meet tomorrow over lunch and we see how to talk
just chop
about
it
this.
up.
Yeah,
I hear you. This is an interesting quote that I want to read for you guys.
please do.
Just caught my mind, as I was doing some research, yeah? So it goes, you don't have to perform to be seen. We live in a society that has convinced us that you are nothing as you are, that you have to make yourself bigger than life. You have to change into something you're not. In order to be seen or respected, you have to have this certain energy to be perceived as high value. But what you need to be doing is less performing and more connecting with who you really are.
True.
Because despite what you've learned, what they tell you, who you are is more than enough.
Oh, I love that. It gives me this reflection of we should learn to embrace ourselves.
Like your true self.
Like your true self. Accept this is Romano. I'm going to deal with it. Then we should come from a point of let's not judge, but learn how to understand and relate in order, to give people that free space that I can talk to Barasha, I can speak. Because I think, just like you said, sometimes we get into spaces and we think we're all at the same level.
Yeah.
And yet we are not actually at the same level. So if we put away the judging and choose to understand and relate with people and also accept, I think
It will be
better.
much better.
All right. Gonza,
Yeah.
man, thanks for coming through today. It's been great having you here, just getting those insights from you and having your precious time,
It's a pleasure. It's like I said, sometimes we need to catch up as guys.
Yeah. Small suggestion.
Yeah.
While we're thanking Gonza for coming on this one, I think mental health is a very broad
Yeah.
topic. Today we have just thrown a little light on 1, 2, 3 things.
Yeah.
Now this is a request to you guys first of all,
Yeah.
and maybe a suggestion for you guys that are listening in and watching. So I hope that you guys can give us some feedback on the mental health topic, considering we'll still be in the month
Of mental health.
of mental health.
Yeah, true.
We can come back, 3 of us, next week
Yeah, true.
and
Just
give more
dive
light
into,
on more detailed things. I think that would be a great one.
Just,
I do not know,
just give us your
Gonza,
feedback.
do you have some time to spare next week?
No, I'm always sure here because
This is now home
I think
for
we
you.
need to help each other in our communities.
Yeah.
And just like you said, it's a wide topic.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about the types. We didn't talk about
The causes, how to
the
manage,
causes. Yes.
how to diagnose and say, okay, now I have a problem.
Just literally had just a walk through, and just a brief understanding, just to, bring that awareness, to our audience and our, and our consumers, that really take on and watch our podcast. Just a quick one before we jump off. We just wanted to highlight a few places and a few doctors that you can see, in regards to this topic and where you can find them. We're also going to link it in our bio, and as well we'll share with you some interesting program that's happening in Fort Portal under the Wild One. If you're down to go, there are just 28 slots on the bus.
Yeah.
So limited slots. If you can book your slot, we'll also link it in the bio with the details. So just to jump into it, this tweet was shared by Auma Rita, and she was happy enough to let me use this information to give to the the public,
viewers.
to the viewers. So we come to psychiatrists. There's Dr. Benedict Akimana. He's free every Thursday at Botavica from 9 to 1 p.m.
Okay.
50K per session every Thursday at Lubaga Hospital. That's from 2 to 5. If you're on insurance, you can also access him.
Nice.
Yeah. 60,000 every Friday in Zambia Hospital, 9 to 1 a.m. Also on insurance, you can access him there. Yeah. 100,000 per session every Wednesday. This is at Rocket Health Clinic, Kampala. Also insurance can pick this up. Private visits are $100 to $200. Yeah. I'll put his number just right below.
The link.
And then Dr. Mwesigwa Emmanuel is free every Tuesday at Mulago Hospital. 100,000 per session at Nakasero Hospital every Friday. Although you'll have to book him on appointment.
Okay.
I'll also put his number in the link, and also I'll just flash it right over here. Dr. Mpamizo Emmanuel, his specialty is young people, children, adolescent, and youth, specifically OCD, PTSD, heartbreaks, and other types of trauma.
Okay.
70,000, both face-to-face and online. I'll also add his numbers, link in bio. Yeah, and also
just to mention, I remember saying that my mother helped me with a lot of catching up to do with mental health.
Yeah.
She's also a very good counselor with Uganda Counselors Association.
all right.
And she works with the Women's Hospital in Bukoto. We'll be sure to drop her details there as
Definitely.
well. Just
drop our
nice.
details, link in
yeah,
bio.
I'm sure she'd be very, very happy to help.
Thanks for that. Anything to add, Gonza?
No, thank you, Bash. Thank you, Elkam. And also to the viewers, you're not alone. Someone may say, how do they see me come out?
Yeah.
But this can come to an end. Accept. Like I said, we're not coming from a place of judging, but understanding. Let's learn how to welcome people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brunch in the Wild is happening. That's going to be under the Wild One.
Okay.
A good friend of mine, or Tim, started with him in UCU. Yeah, he's really been big with this Wild One thing. It's really picking up. So there's Brunch in the Wild. It's going to
For
happen.
people that want to go away
People
and
that want
relax.
to go away and relax.
So
Yeah.
this is the leave we're talking about.
Exactly. Yeah.
The bus fare is 80K, but there are only 20 slots. Yeah. It's going to be happening on the 1st of July. So I'll also link it in bio. I'll share
So
some.
if we have to kusudia the Mugaga, who do we kusudia you to get onto that list of 28?
No, but before we go for teams, I think we need to do Gonza.
Yes, there's Gonza Avenue that will be happening at Hilltop Nakuru.
No, it's now Uma. We moved
Now
down to
Uma.
Uma, yeah.
No,
What are the
it's
dates?
bigger.
What are the dates now? Oh, it has grown bigger. Yeah. When something moves from Hilltop, it has definitely gotten bigger.
Yeah, so maybe you guys should come for Gonza.
Yeah, definitely.
What is your empako?
Mpako yange bal.
Empako yanga apuli.
Apol. Say that again, the way you say.
Empako yanga apuli. Really linguistic.
Well, when I was working in Fort Portal, they blessed me with a boat.
Amoti. Chari amoti.
You know the motives when they come.
Calm.
Chill, cool.
Chill, yeah.
And for the people that will be in Kampala next week, Roast and Rhyme is on Friday. Friday.
3
People
days,
1st June. 1st July rather, people will be jetting off to Jinja.
Jinja,
But
yeah.
just before that, Thursday, I think it will be ED. We've not yet confirmed, but we'll be having an exclusive party with Irene Tale at Eclipse, that's Sky's Hotel. Be sure to pick your invites from me, please. I do not want to be there alone. Maybe we shall get some people there to talk to.
Exactly. You never know.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
we could actually, I don't know if it's possible, but we could think of talking to them to have a episode shot there.
Yeah.
That would be good, yeah.
Good changes.
So, yeah, see you guys there. It was lovely having
Thanks,
you,
guys.
Gonza.
Thank you.
I'm
Thanks,
very
Gonza.
happy that you've agreed to come back next week.
No. Sure. It's a good thing.
It's a good topic to put out there for the
Actually,
people.
it's my first podcast, but
You did
know.
quite well. I thought you work like on radio. So.
Yeah.
radio guys, I'm here.
Give him your monies.
Gonza Romano, guys. Cheers, guys. Maverick UG, Barasha, at Mr. Barasha on all socials, at Maverick UG on all socials. See you next week, yeah?
Peace.
Peace.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.